Hey, shout out the legend, cousin Rick. We appreciate you, buddy. He just gave us $20. Love the show. This is the part of the season when everyone's undefeated. Giga baggies. So let's do A&M next, Steven, for cousin Rick. And A&M, a lot of those key games that you had at home last season, now, of course, on the road. So let's run down the schedule. UTEP, first game of the year at home. Utah State at home. Then we're at Notre Dame. Then we get an early bye to get ready for Auburn at home, Mississippi State at home, and Florida at home. Then we're at Arkansas, at LSU, get our second bye, and we're at Missouri, and then home for South Carolina and Samford. And then we wrap up, of course, Texas in Austin. So, as I run down the schedule, Stephen, it's not as difficult as say Oklahoma's schedule, but still very, very difficult road slate, but a lot of big time or a lot of home games right out the gate. And if they beat Notre Dame, I mean, this could be one of the hottest teams in the country heading into October.
Absolutely. And I think when you look at that schedule, the Notre Dame game kind of looms large because I think A&M will be favored to beat Auburn, probably Florida as well. So there's a chance to get off to a 6-0 start. And also when I look at their schedule, I see, was it 4 out of their last 6 games are on the road? And Samford is one of those home games. So South Carolina, Samford at the end of the year, they're basically spending a big chunk of the second half on the road. So despite all that, I'm going to be Mr. Optimistic here, Mike. I'm going to set it at 8.5 because I believe in Mike Elko. I believe this team will take a step forward again. I like them to be dogs against Notre Dame, LSU, and Texas, but I could see them winning the rest of the games on their schedule.
All right, Stephen, this is the first one you got right. I'd say 8.5 too. So we nailed it. And I mean, insert your Texas 8-4 jokes, but I mean that's that's almost like a safe bet. That's where the over under should be every year for the Aggies. Set it at 8-4. Let them try to exceed expectations or fall short. It looked like they were going to smash it last season till the final month of the season occurred and broke many hearts there in College Station. But yeah, just the strides taken. Again, I hate to, because I did all this research. I don't want to just keep throwing this at people's faces, but number 2 in the SEC in returning production on the defensive side of offensive side of the ball. Number 5 on the defense. Year 2 of a coaching staff that, again, they were 7-1. They were on top of the world before they came crashing down. But again, if they could take strides, and this is not just coaching just taking strides, but players, second year in this system. I'm looking at you, Marcel Reed. I'm looking at this dynamic running attack we had. I'm looking at the defense, which really, really started to kind of crater in the secondary late in the season. If we could correct these issues, and given this coaching staff, Stephen, they have a track record of being, Mike Elko, Colin Klein. I mean, these guys have won at a high level. I think they can get it done. So I kind of like the over on this one, but I think 8.5. I think that's fair.
I think you said it best there, Mike. Marcel Reed kind of holds the keys to this team because I do think when I look at this offense and see you've got everybody back on the offensive line, you've got a great group of running backs, improved receiving core. It's all there. It's all there for the quarterback to take a step forward, which the offense gets better, which offsets some of the defensive concerns coming into the season. Now you're replacing 3 studs up front, and there's still the secondary kind of concerns, even though they have added some guys from the portal. And of course, I kind of trust Mike Elko here to figure things out on defense. So a ton of pressure on Marcel Reed, but if they go to South Bend and win early in the season, I mean, it's all there for them because they should be at that. I think at that point 6-0, and you go into that stretch to where you play Texas and LSU, South Carolina in the second half, setting up kind of another run at the SEC championship.